Alright, we're going to play some of that Dual Destinies. And then some Mario after that. We'll see how that goes. Maybe we'll get so engrossed in the trial. Here's our health warning, sensitivity warning, Capcom warning, autosave warning. Alright, oof. Yeah, I'm terrible about having anything like a consistent starting time, which is horrible for anyone who wants to watch it. Anyway, where are we? Oof. Trial Day 2, lecture in court. We had just put Professor Means on the stand, and we're about to interview him. Last time when we had run out of time. Alright, Professor Means' testimony. Just put it somewhere where it won't get colonized. The defendant came to me with what she said was very important and by necessity secret. She asked me to pre-record my speech and come to the audio room during the mock trial. Juniper confessed to the murder and asked that I get her declared innocent in court. She also said I'd become an accomplice after losing my alibi to the pre-recording. But when I said I would protect Juniper, I meant it, because it's the humane thing to do. Oh my, so you're saying the defendant threatened you? This has to be a lie. I mean, everything about it lines up too perfectly to be true. On this most consequential of occasions, let me be completely frank with you. Juniper has truly taken to heart my teaching that states the end justifies the means. I don't believe you. When she asked me to defend her, she said I must also prove her two friends innocent. Her two friends? The witnesses? Correct. Hugh O'Connor and Robin Newman. I was to ensure all three walked free. All three were to achieve their dream. That was the result Juniper was seeking. And she was even willing to threaten me, her own professor, to that end. You no doubt had high praise for her ruthless tactics. Yes, well, that is why I vowed to vigorously defend her, despite her threatening me. There was a time when lawyers merely sought the truth if they wished for victory in court. But alas, those days are over. Now, in the defense of justice, order, and all that is good, the end justifies the means. I'm so sick of hearing that phrase. Though it truly grieves me so, I must tell you this. Forsake the truth if it's victory you seek. Steel yourself for this new courtroom reality. Where does it? He's going to regret dragging those dismal, depressing ideas in here. Since he's already surrendered the dark age of the law, it's up to me to fight. Why so silent, Sykes Dono? Something the matter? This is a court of law. Is no place for long-winded talks about idealistic principles. That's why I'm going to let the evidence do talking. Let's not get carried away now, Miss Sykes. It will not do to have you attempting to discredit my doctrine. Do not force me to rectify this situation. No, go ahead and rectify it. Only if I lose and you win, that is. Okay, cross-examination. We're so doomed. No. Professor Means' testimony. The defendant came to me with what she said was very important and, by necessity, secret.
Hold it!
I doubt our client would come with you or something like that. You have a point there. If only Professor Court had been alive, I suspect Juniper would have gone to her instead. So, our client came to talk to you after Professor Court was dead? Let's go through this step by step, shall we? Oh no. First, Juniper came to me that day. She asked me to pre-record my speech and come to the audio room during the mock trial.
Hold it!
Are you suggesting it was our client who told you to fake an alibi? You have every reason to be surprised. I, too, was shocked when she told me that. Simply put, Juniper has a secret that she wished to protect that badly. Is he kidding me? That lie couldn't be further from truth. Problem is, how am I going to expose it? It was an earnest request from an outstanding student. How could I possibly have refused? Juniper confessed to the murder and asked that I get her declared innocent in court.
Hold it!
Did you consider that a threat? Yes, but it's now you to whom she has passed her demands on to. Miss Sykes, you must realize that you, too, are being used by Juniper. What? Your Honor, I ask that you, too, do not let her feigned weakness and innocence fool you. Juniper Hoods is quite clever and extremely tough. And, perhaps most important of all, she is a fervent follower of my teachings.
Objection!
Your Honor, the witness testimony is nothing but an attack on our client's character. Very well. Objection sustained. So be it. Nevertheless, the fact that she threatened me is immutable. She also said I'd become an accomplice after losing my alibi due to the pre-recording.
Hold it!
How could you overlook such a threat? As a teacher, it's your duty to discipline students. Yes, well, perhaps I do have some serious reflection to do on this matter. I suppose it was just wishful thinking on my part. I wanted to believe that Juniper hadn't actually committed murder and that she hadn't meant to threaten me. Really? Please do explain. Long had I waited for a student who would embody my teachings. Does the witness realize what he's saying? Surely you must see the true meaning in my words. I am merely staying true to what I teach, and my methods are but a reflection of the times. Oh wow, his way of thinking is really warped, but I haven't heard any inconsistencies yet. I wouldn't be so sure. Really? The more he tries to avoid logical inconsistencies in his testimony, the more likely we'll see inconsistencies between his actions and words. It is a dark age in which we live, and there is much I would like to say on the matter. But when I said I would protect Juniper, I meant it because it's the humane thing to do.
Hold it!
You trying to protect our client? Yeah, right. He'll say anything to pin the blame on Junie. What a frightful look. I would ask that you not glare at me so. I've nothing but admiration for how Juniper was willing to go as far as to threaten me. That is why I'm protecting her by any means possible. She has been a model student. Now, you're trying to pin the blame on her. How am I going to show that what he's saying and what he's really thinking? You cannot possibly overturn my claims, so isn't it about time you admitted defeat? After all, if my unassailable logic is not truth, then what is? If he thinks I'm going to give in to his pack of lies, he's got another thing coming. I'm going to find a hole in his story if it's the last thing I do. Even though he's rotten to the core, he's a total pro. I mean, that all made perfect sense. Yeah, but you can't believe a word he says. He's making this up as he goes along. He'll trip up on his own words yet. Time to see how consistently Professor's testimony matches up with his actual actions. Okay, actual actions. So let me see what our evidence looks like. What evidence do we have that relates to means? Means used a fake tape recording and gave it to... Oh! Why did he give it to Hugh to pass it on to the police when he was trying to... He said that he would defend everyone, but he put out a fake tape recording implicating one of them. So I'm going to... This is my guess. It's not going to like it. Anyway, the other thing that we have as far as evidence is that he's in these pictures, talking to them. But the relevance of that is not yet seen. I'm going to do a save because it doesn't do any good. Whatever. Alright. There you go. So let me get this straight. You trying to help Miss Woods? Ha! That's nothing more than a bald-faced lie. No offense, Your Honor. Such defamation of my character and your hair follicles, Your Honor. It is an outrage. Ms. Sykes will clarify her statement, but leave my hair follicles out of it this time. Yes, of course, Your Honor. Now, please take a look at this. The witness gave his tape to Mr. O'Connor. Then he slyly whispered, "Take these to police and tell them you found it." There was no whispering, slyly or otherwise involved. I simply did that out of kindness.
Objection!
Tape contained our client's voice. In short, it is incredibly damaging evidence. Why would it even exist if the witness wasn't trying to pin the murder on our client? They say the road to hell's paved with good intentions, but not yours. You never had good intentions, only lies to protect yourself with while blaming another. You, Professor, the embodiment of the dark age of the law. Why, you dare call my teachings and methods lies? Oh dear. Themis Legal Academy is a proud institution. It's the most powerful in the world. You'll never forget what true education and lawyering means once I'm through with you. Huh? Professor Mains, what's with your hair? Quiet! No talking in class! Ah! Ow! Homeroom, October 26. Eyes and ears up here, everyone. Homeroom is now in session. We will begin with roll call. Athena Sykes? Huh? Oh, here? Apollo Justice? I'm fine. Here. Fool! The proper response is here, without any extraneous information. Ouch! Here. Heck. Next, Your Honor. Here. See, class? That's the proper way to answer. Simon Blackwell. I said Simon Blackwell. Are you here or not? There's always one, isn't there? Well then, I'll just mark you absent. Now, get out of my class this instant. Get out? Very well, if that is your wish. Who am I to defy my homeroom teacher? Is that such a good idea? Prosecutor Blackwell is free of his shackles. It just so happens I was a member of my high school's disciplinarian committee. But is that really so shocking? Detention for life. He's already in it. Constabulary lapdog to teacher's pet. What a malleable mutt you are, Foolbright. Very good, Bobby. You just earned a gold star and a promotion to head disciplinarian. All right, class is now in session. Why do I have a sudden urge to go to the nurse's office with a stomachache? Main point. Juniper is the killer. I am innocent. Pay attention. I am not the killer. Juniper is. This will be on the next test, so you had better be listening.
Objection!
But Professor, you created the phony tape to pin the blame on Juniper. Plus, you're the only one who could have moved the body during the mock trial. Please note, I was not at school. Athena, you disappoint me so. To think you would label me a murderer. Now pay attention. The murder occurred on the 23rd between 6 and 8 p.m. But I was already at home by that time. So how could I have been involved in this crime? Okay, the 23rd between 6, is that this? You were literally here? Bark, 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 bark.
Objection!
Professor Mains, can you really prove you'd already gone home by that time? Can you prove that I was still at school? No. No, I can't. Why can't you? So you admit it? Very well, you just earned extra credit for your honesty. But you have also earned yourself lavatory cleaning duties until you graduate. Ew. I'll do enough of that at the office. You've already graduated, too. No way, man! I totally object! Robin? I can't believe I fell for the Professor Sales overtime lies. Why, you? How dare you talk about your teacher like that? I'm not listening to you anymore, man. No way, no how. Now, I have a confession to make. You know those two statues that were on stage? I didn't make them all by myself. Statues on stage? Dude, do I want to know where this is headed? I was able to finish one of them when the last bell rang before I had time for the other. So I asked Professor Means to make it for me. In other words, a professor was there on the stage after the last bell? Right, and it would have been way past 7 p.m. before he could have finished. Professor Means was still at school. This is an incredibly important testimony. Is this again not again with this? 10:23 at 6? Because that is mark. I guess this is proof of that happening. Professor Means was still at school. This is incredibly important testimony. The professor told me I'll take care of it. I thought my parents would let me be an artist if I said I'd made both statues myself. Oh, I'm so sorry for not telling the truth. Robin? Quick! Somebody get this juvenile delinquent out of my sight! Simon, you're head honcho among the delinquents. Do something. Yeah. And who's in charge of the class pet around here? Not interested, but if you want a class in swordsmanship, I'm your man. Of course, only real blades will do. No swords at school. All weapons will be confiscated. Yeah! Nurse! Where's a school nurse when you need one? Just being a full-on circus in here. It would seem Sykes-Dono seeks a showdown, Professor. In which case you would do well to draw your staff quick as lightning. Very well. I will just have to prove my innocence myself. I said no pets allowed. The real lessons begin in second period. Prepare to be served old school style. What does that... Oh, never mind. Your testimony, please. Main point, Juniper is the killer. And innocent. Professor Means' work of art. Now pay attention. Robin took over half a day to complete one statue. I, however, finished most of the other statue between 7 and 8:30 p.m. The defendant, Juniper, saw the two statues with her own eyes at 8:30 p.m. Completing a statue so quickly meant I could not leave the stage for a single second. How could I have possibly had the time to go to the art room and commit murder? You're saying the defendant saw the finished statues? Precisely. She said so herself at the detention center yesterday. A defense team was there and heard her say so too. Don't try to deny it now. That evening, I went back to my dressing room to get something I'd forgotten there. It was well after the last bell rang. I'd say maybe around 8:30. That's when I noticed that both stage statues were finished. They were quite large, and they were each covered with a white sheet, but I could tell. Oh, right. The professor was there when that matter came up. Before I address press charges, I have a question for Robin. How hard would it be to complete a statue like that in 1.5 hours? It'd probably take me at least twice as LONG. So, personally, I think it'll be incredibly difficult to finish in that short a time. Well, it didn't exactly help our case. He won't get off that easy. He's bound to stumble over his own slippery means. So doomed. Professor Means' work of art. Now pay attention. Robin took over half a day to complete one statue.
Hold it!
Ms. Newman took over half a day? Can you please be a little more precise than that? What a wonderful question. She was having quite a tough time, you see. Professor Gavin's statue alone took her from the morning hours into the evening. Now, she was working on... Gavin's statue was already done in the evening. But yeah, it could have been the thing took her all day, because she's just starting the second one. Well, it is a rather large statue after all. Don't be silly. It merely exposes the difference between student and teacher. I, however, finished most of the other statue between 7 and 8:30 p.m.
Hold it!
Most of the other statue? What exactly does that mean? Robin created the basic outline of Mr. Wright's statue before the last bell rang. I, in turn, completed the rest of it. I see. In academics as well as art, learning the basics is incredibly important. In short, you skipped the most important part of statue making, didn't you? Why, you insolent little... It is the practical applications built upon the basics that take so much time. Professors such as I mastered the basics a long, long time ago. Unlike Miss Fancy Pants here, who lacks all loyalty fundamentals. Oh, quiet, you. What's wrong with a non-guilty verdict? Now, do you understand? I did not leave that stage until I was done. Well, Ms. Sykes, do you accept the witness's claim?
Out of your life, Buster.
Okay, so what do we know? Death between 6 and 8. Identified as fake. This was happening. Broken on stage, the whole Lady Justice statue. That's. Like, like... What is this conversation, anyway? Bark. I mean, I don't accept it, but I don't know how exactly to reject it. No, I don't. I know there's more to this, and I won't stop until truth comes out. The more you struggle, the more you sink, like so much legal quicksand, so to speak. I use the world's ultimate technique to complete the statue by 8:30 p.m. The world's ultimate technique? The defendant Juniper saw the two statues with her own eyes at 8:30 p.m.
Hold it!
But maybe our client only thought she saw the statues?
Silence.
A pity for you, but we've already confirmed it with the accused. She is on record as having seen both statues. Yeah, it's true. I just thought I'd give it a shot. Gahaha! Everyone fails except me. I have the ultimate in courtroom techniques. It is absolutely airtight. I will bury you. This will be your final resting place, along with all who believed in you. Sorry, I keep coming back to look at the things. Is there no way to get to this guy? You better pay attention. Pay very close attention. Completing a statue so quickly meant I could not leave the stage for a single second.
Hold it!
Why are you in such a hurry? Nobody may speak with me. In the legal world, your body is your capital. The early bird gets the worm. That's why I get to bed at 9 p.m. each and every night. Really? And that's why I was working as fast as I could. I didn't want to miss my bedtime. Well, ready to concede that I never left the stage? Well, Miss Sykes, do you accept the witness's claim? Not in your life, Buster. At some point I might have to, but I don't have to yet. No, I don't. I know there's more to this. I won't stop until the truth comes out. I'd be careful, Athena. If you don't have anything, it's probably best to just grin and bear it for now until you find something nailable. I guess I could say, when will you cease this nonsense? I'm quite busy today, as I was the night of a crime. Okay, how could I have possibly had the time to go to the art room and commit murder? That's easy, you just take the winch.
Hold it!
Yeah, but you could take a short break or something. Preposterous! I didn't even have 10 minutes to spare. Not even 5 for a visit to the lavatory. Let me ask you, Your Honor, do you find anything wrong with my claim? So far, it appears that your statue making was quite a difficult chore. And I see nothing that could overturn your claim that you never left the stage. But the art room's only a few steps away. What's the plan? All I can think of is pressing him like crazy. Well, that's all I can think of, too. We'll just have to seek out a hole to explore. Okay, 7:30 and 8:30. We saw the completed and non-completed around that time. Things were going on. Okay, well, can we go back to where we'll just accept what he said?
Hold it!
Let's repress him. Why are you in such a hurry? In the legal world, your body is your capital. The early bird gets the worm. That's why I get to bed at 9 p.m. each and every night. And that's why I was working as fast as I could. I didn't want to miss my bedtime. Well, ready to concede that I never left the stage? Sure, let's go ahead and concede that. I know, they don't super die if we fail everything, so... Well, Miss Sykes, do you accept the witness's claim? Sure. I tried everything, but I still can't prove anything. I guess I concede. Huh? I couldn't hear you. Say it louder this time. I concede that Professor Means never left the stage. That's right. But what took you so long? I was there at the stage the entire time. I couldn't possibly have committed that crime. I'm not going to give up here. I'm afraid I have to side with the witness, Miss Sykes. Unless you have any further objections, I'll have to put this issue to rest.
Objection!
Not yet. The defense still has an objection. Athena, you've thought of something? Well, as I said, not yet. Oh, so it's time for legal smoke and mirrors? Not yet, Athena. It's not yet time to quit. This is one of those menu choices that didn't make a lot of sense. I could only concede unless I can only keep fighting unless I concede and then keep fighting. Maybe it's important for the record that I allow that this happens. It's at times like these when it seems like there's no way out that you have to keep smiling. Yeah, I have to turn the case upside down. Instead of focusing on whether Professor Means could have gone to the art room, I should focus on how I could commit murder without going there. It seems our young lady has a real bona fide idea. But I'll use any means necessary, even casting stones, if it'll distract her. I mean, arrow, that's a thing. I keep focusing on this because this is the point where we see the guy. This guy probably doesn't have any, Anyway, bark. Who brought the birds to school? Sykes, Dono, if I hear one word of your usual jibber-jabber, I shall have your head. The murder occurred in the art room, yet the witness was on the stage. How do you propose to fill the vast gap between these two key facts? Well, if I accept the premise that the professor was on the stage the entire time, the only other answer is that we got something else wrong. Wait, that's it. Every last one of us made a huge mistake. We were totally wrong about the murder weapon. Let's say it was the arrow. What if we got the murder weapon wrong? Really now? And what do you intend to label the murder weapon then? Huh? Oh, perhaps you bludgeoned the victim to death with your duller-than-dull thinking? I'll give you a choice this time. Either change your thinking or suffer a penalty. But I know we got something wrong, so I guess I'll have a penalty. Okay, so it wasn't the murder weapon, then the crime scene. The only other answer is we got something else wrong. Wait, that's it. Every last one of us made a huge mistake. We were totally wrong about the... Of course we were wrong about the suspect. That's not even to be in question. If Professor Beans was on the stage the entire time, then he must be the killer. Ridiculous! The defense has become utterly incoherent.
Objection!
No, it's just the murder wasn't committed where we thought it was. Continue, Sykes Dono. Okay, murder was actually committed here. Heck. Waiting room. Art room. Heck! The archery range? That goes back to us saying it was a bark. Wouldn't that be awful? I'm gonna choose it anyway. Oh no. I'm only choosing it because I just got done saying it's supposed to be the arrow.
Take that!
No, that's wrong. The murder was committed here. Care to explain how I got there and how I moved the body? Of course. Will I have to take this over together? No, that task is for you and you alone, as is this penalty. Ah! So the location we're looking for didn't require the professor or the body to move? But is there really such a place? I mean... So, the stage? Because if that's where he was, and the professor didn't move, then yes, question mark? Very dead. That's okay.
Take that!
The greatest riddle of this case has been how the body was moved from the art room. But if the murder occurred on the stage, that means the body was never moved at all. The murder occurred in the art room. Silly girl, when the body was found, there wasn't a drop of blood on the stage floor. Surely there would have been some blood if that's where the murder was committed. There wasn't any blood on the stage? Really? But there was something on stage at the time of the murder that's now bloodstained. This, and probably this one too, might have been even bloodier.
Take that!
It's true there are no bloodstains on the stage floor, but there was something on stage that did have bloodstain, and that would be this school banner. No blood would have gotten on the floor if this weren't the victim when she was killed. Oh my, that's quite a compelling theory.
Silence!
What is it now? My theory makes perfect sense. That was a pathetic attempt. You must put every inch of your body into your task. The autopsy states that the cause of death was loss of blood. Yet only a trace amount was found upon that banner. Where did the rest go? The other banner. The one that was on top. Blood getting on there when the body was moved by wire makes more sense than not. Very good, Simon. Tell me, what's your first choice for higher education? I'll write you the ultimate in recommendation letters. You're all but guaranteed to get in. But yeah, so here, the Gaviner's banner's on top of the school banner. So if the Gaviner's one got totally blood-soaked, then incinerated, some of it might have soaked through the one beneath it. Or whatever. But. You're all but guaranteed to get in.
Objection!
Actually, defense has something to explain that as well. You do? If there's only a trace amount of blood on the school banner, then there must have been something else the killer used to soak up the blood. All I have to do is figure out what. This is what soaked up most of the victim's blood. Gaviner banner, yeah.
Take that!
Why, it looks like there's some other piece of fabric on top of the school banner. It's Gaviner's banner that had been specially made for school concert. Since it's on top of the school banner, blood would have hit it first. Could have easily absorbed most of the blood like a dishcloth. And only a small amount would have soaked through the school banner below. So, makes total sense for the school banner to only have a little blood on it. So, that banner absorbed the blood like a dishcloth. Yes, that would explain it. Gaviner's banner was like a dishcloth? Surely it was at least towel quality. Simon, don't just stand there. Do something.
Silence!
Sykes, Dono, you are learning to wield the blade quite well. But how will you respond when I come slashing at you like this? The remnant of a large bloodstain was detected in the art room. But why would there be blood there if the murder occurred on the stage, as you claimed?
Objection!
Bloodstain in the art room was faked. How? I'll tell you how. All I was needed was something that could transport the blood upstairs. And that something was a piece of evidence we just finished discussing. Killer used this to bring the victim's blood up to the art room. Alright, so we're talking about the banner again. Ooh. Given that we just finished discussing it, sure. I'm paranoid and I'm going to hit the button. Doesn't mean nothing. He was tossed into the... Joe guy, hey howdy, welcome out. Alright, so it was either one banner or the other, I guess. This is the one that got soaked with it all, so probably.
Take that!
To think you'd stoop so low as to present mere garbage to this court? It's only garbage because someone tried to destroy it by tossing it in the incinerator. And someone's most likely the killer seeking to get rid of crucial evidence. The killer used the wire to bring the blood-soaked Gaffiner's banner to the art room. Then the blood was wiped on the floor to complete the ruse. Makes perfect sense. Ah! Ah! Order! Order! This is quite a development. To think the body was never actually moved. Hold it right there. The body must have been moved. How else do you explain that loud crash you heard during the mock trial? If it wasn't caused by the body crashing into the statues, then what was it? Well, I hadn't thought of that. If that loud crash wasn't the body hitting the statues, then what was it indeed? The school banner shows that someone was carried along the wire, didn't it? So if that's true, I know what I have to find. I mean, is it the Justice statue? Someone that was in the art room before the murder and then on the stage after. Yeah, the Justice statue. The object that was sent down the wire to crash into the statues was a whole other statue.
Take that!
Ah! That statue? Yeah, I believe it was this statue that broke the other two, not Professor Court's body. The unique statue you see on the right, that's the pure white Lady Justice from earlier. Professor Court accidentally broke it while she was polishing it the day before the mock trial. But she used her own unique artistic sense and technique to repair it, as you see here. Nobody would have guessed it was original Lady Justice.
Silence!
Perhaps you're on to something. But why, pray tell, would anyone move that scrappy relic in such a tedious manner? Excellent question, Simon. Keep them coming. You know why, but the fact that you won't acknowledge it shows how twisted you are. Lady Justice was moved during the mock trial. During that time, Professor Means was fabricating an alibi with his pre-recorded speech. If we consider the facts that Lady Justice was moved in order to hide the body, point us to the body, interrupt the mock trial. Probably interrupt the mock trial? Alright, so the whole thing was... yeah. It was moved during the mock trial. They want to interrupt the mock trial so that he could reappear on stage without anyone wondering quack. Like, ideally. Professor Means was trying to interrupt the mock trial. That must be the answer, and it's wrong. Then let me ask this. Why would the professor want to interrupt the mock trial? I object, Your Honor. I object to how you always ask people questions like that. You should try thinking for yourself once in a while. Oh, I just had a thought. It involves a penalty for a certain smart-alecky defense attorney. No, that's enough. I see no need to prolong this trial any further. The defense's case is insufficient to overturn the prosecution's claims. This court finds the defendant, Juniper Woods, guilty. Try from this scene. Bark, bark, bark. Which point is this scene? You know why, but the fact you won't acknowledge it shows how twisted you are. Lady Justice was moved during the mock trial. During that time, Professor Means was fabricating an alibi with his pre-recorded speech. If we consider the facts, then Lady Justice was moved in order to point us to the body. Again, because he's working on the alibi of him being up there during the speech, question mark? Professor Means used his pre-recorded speech to fake an alibi during the mock trial. He wanted to make it look like he couldn't possibly move the body. Moving Lady Justice was his way of pointing us to the body and cementing his alibi. Yeah, that's quite a persuasive argument. For a while there, I thought you weren't taking the trial seriously. Well done. You should never underestimate me, Athena Sykes. Professor Means always means what he says, and says what he means by all means. Hydrate? Yeah, I could do that. Alright. Alright. Thank you, Dogai. Oof. Fine then. Say it already. I'm waiting. The murder occurred the night before, but the body wasn't found until late the next day. Countless students passed the stage till they met in the lecture hall for the mock trial. The body would absolutely be found. So, answer me this. Why didn't anyone see the body that entire time? Well, that can be explained by, you never actually finished the statue. You put the body there, and it looked like just a statue covered with a cloth, right? Aha! If the victim was murdered on the stage and left there, the body would inevitably have been discovered. And, of course, there was nowhere to hide a body upon that stage. This is not good, Athena. Our claim is this close to being beaten to a pulp. I know, but we come so far. Consider yourself schooled. I couldn't possibly have killed anyone. The killer is none other than Juniper Woods. It always has been, and it always will be. Just wait a minute. Poor Juniper. She must seriously regret having asked you to defend her. And to add insult to injury, you nearly had Hugh convicted for murder. Surely you haven't forgotten that little fiasco? Ah! Athena Sykes' attorney badge is just for show. Not only did you fail to defend your client, you also raised false charges against her friend. You have no right to call yourself a lawyer. Ah! But if this trial proceeds in the same manner and ends in the same way as the mock trial, would you not lose everything you've worked so hard to gain? Well, I'll just have to make sure it doesn't happen then, won't I? Don't tell me I failed once again. Failed to save someone near and dear to me. I worked so hard to become a lawyer, even studied psychology. Has it all been for naught? Am I just doomed to relive that all over again? That? Oh no. Oh no. Uh, uh, Athena, what's wrong? Breathe in, breathe out, breathe in, relax, Athena, breathe. It's not working. Everything's going dark. After all I've done, is this how it ends? Forgive me, Joni. I couldn't protect you like I said I could. You leave Athena alone, man. She's the one who saved me. It was because of Athena I can stop hiding and start living my life as a girl again. And she saves a friendship between Hugh, Juniper, and I think you're an awesome lawyer, Athena. One of the best. But I raised false charges against Hugh. That's not all. I've done some seriously unforgivable things. What's the big deal? False charges are nothing to be scared of. And I'm not even mad at you. I should really be thanking you. You used legitimate means to expose my wrongdoings, give me a chance to re-examine what's important. What does it matter if I can't save Juniper? I mean, the whole reason I've come so far is... It's not over yet, Thana. Even now, at this very moment, I still believe in you. Joni. I know you better than most people, Thana. And I know you'd never surrender to the dark age of the law like the professor did. Thank you, Junie, but I feel like I can barely breathe. I don't know what to do.
Silence!
Stop your bleating this instant. You look an utter fool. Prosecutor Blackwell? There is one who awaits you, is there not? And that is the reason you have studied so very hard. Are you prepared to give up on all you have worked for thus far? It would not do to have you disappoint you know who. You're wasting your time. You have nothing on me. No evidence or anything else to establish my guilt. The bright, cheery, dark age of the law, where the end justifies the means. You are helpless before the might of lawyers, for whom the end justifies the means.
Objection!
Don't worry, Athena. You're doing fine. The truth will always win against people like him. But Apollo, what am I supposed to do now? Listen, all you have to do is take a deep breath and look back over the entire case. If there's truth to be found, and there always is, you're sure to find it. Now, let me see you smile. Oh, yeah. Remember what Mr. Wright said? The worst of times when lawyers have to force their biggest smiles. Oh. Thanks, everyone. You don't have to worry about me now. The worst times are when lawyers have to force their biggest smiles. Athena Sachs is sacked and ready to rock. Prepare for your utter defeat. Yeah. Professor Court wasn't killed in the art room. She was killed right where her body was found. We know because there wasn't any time to move the body there from somewhere else. That means the body had to have been hidden somewhere on stage till it was found. Let's think along these lines and see where it takes us. First up, when Professor Means removed the body from its hiding place? Well, let's see. What was he doing right before the body was discovered? He was using the span of time his fake alibi created to move the body to where it would be more easily spotted. Therefore, the only time Professor Means could remove the body from its hiding place is during the mock trial. Right? When he was out there doing that? The body was moved during the mock trial. It was during the mock trial, specifically during the speech. Professor Means moved the body to an easily seen location during his long pre-recorded speech. The professor also moved something on stage that wasn't there before, specifically the white statue. Right. During the mock trial, Professor Means wrapped the White Lady Justice in the school banner and sent it zipping down the stage with a crash, killing two birds with one stone. It drew attention to the body and made it look like the murder occurred in the art room. But was there anywhere to hide the body on that stage? Yeah, doesn't seem likely. No, there had to be someplace. Oh, wait a second. How about something should have been finished was only mostly done? Something was used to cover the body up, but it didn't draw undue attention because it looked like it belonged there on stage. In that way, no one would suspect there was a body hidden inside.
It was in the Quaso.
It was in the Quaso! No! Who was already on stage and capable of concealing a body? The right statue. The body was hidden by right statue. Oh, I know. The Mr. Right statue was never actually finished. The body was wrapped under some cloth to hide what was really inside, cleverly disguising it as a boss's statue. Ms. Newman gave up on the right statue, yet Professor Means finished it in a single night. Yes, what an impressive feat that was.
Objection!
No, his so-called work of art deserves none of our praise. That's because it was only a facade to hide his real work. The murder of Professor Court. Come again? I'm afraid I don't follow. That whole monologue you had was all internal. He hid the body by making it look like the statue of Mr. Right. With the body wrapped under a piece of cloth, it looked just like a statue. What? I second that. What? Now, this is getting interesting. No, this is getting preposterous. How would such a thing even be possible?
Objection!
We'll never know until we try. Uh-oh. I think I know where this is going. Okay, Paolo. Time to turn me into a reasonable likeness of Mr. Right. I'm imposed like a statue, like so. And now I want you to wrap me up in a cloth so I look like a statue. I hate to ask the obvious, but where am I supposed to get this magical cloth? I'm afraid that isn't the right color, Mr. Justice. Well, given how sudden the request was, it's kind of the best I could do, Your Honor. All right, I think that about does it. Well, what do you think, everyone? Do I look just like a statue, Mr. Right, or what? Looks like some random person to me. Weren't the statues a pair of busts? Phoenix Wright has that spiky hair on the back of his head. Forget the hair. Statue's head is way bigger than your average person's anyway. You gotta hand it to me for trying it, right? Wait, that's it. The hands. Her arms are raised over her head, and there are dark bruises around her wrists. Phoenix? Yeah, oh yeah, this is the flashback. Yeah, the professor was probably tied up with something. Marks on her wrist indicated she'd been tied up. Paulo, tie me up in a new pose. Wait, you're not into this kind of thing, are you? What? No. Besides, it was your idea. Just tell me how to tie your hands already. Professor Court's wrists were tied together, and I can't help but think that's related. How should I arrange myself to match the shape I want, given her hands were tied? Well, okay. Do we know what we're trying to go for with the statues? We don't. I don't have, I don't know what the shape we want is. I mean, it was supposed to be kind of objection-y, but also... If I had a clear shape of the statue, that'd be nice. But the statue never got made, so... Okay, so if we want a good shape, probably we'll go for the objection pose. That's the most, whatever. I don't know. Wait, do I have a picture of the actual... We went to all the trouble of taking a picture of the scene, and I don't get to keep a copy of it, and that's mean. Well, I guess we'll figure it out. Top of my hands in an objection pose. You sure? What about the spiky hair on the back of the head? Oh, I know. Boss is right there. Go pull some out and you can glue it on. Okay, I'm on it. You just...
Objection!
Yeah. Ouch! Ouch! What do you think you're doing, Apollo? Sorry, Athena. I couldn't do it. Don't be such a wimp. Oh, how unfortunate. And I was so looking forward to seeing where I was headed. It's all Paul's fault. Guess I better think something else. Alright, behind the head. To be the spiky. Bark, bark, bark. Oh, top of my hands behind my head. See? This makes it possible to find spikes on the back of Mr. Rock's head. Sure, but then what about the statue's arm? With both arms behind your head, you can't exactly complete the pose. Yeah, it'd be awfully hard to make the objection pose like this. I can't help thinking you forgot something, Athena. Something on the body that you don't have right now. What would the victim's body have it? I don't. An arrow sticking out of it? Oh no. I object.
Take that!
Alright. There's an arrow sticking out of her side. Okay, Apollo. Take that and plunge it into my side. No, don't tell him to do that. What are you, crazy? Fine. Go get some duct tape. Wrap it up. Snap. Alright. I don't need to know other languages to know bossy when I hear it. The fatal arrow to the side. Spiky hair created from 2 hands. A masterpiece in the making. Now, cover me in that cloth. Remember to make the arrow stand out, okay? Mommy, the arm is too short. Shh. Remember your indoor voice, dear. Nobody's buying it. The arrow's nowhere near long enough. But... What else could you use for the arm? Still won't give up, eh? I must commend you, if only for your spirit and determination. Of course she's not giving up. After all she's put me through, she owes me an explanation. And one that makes sense. Now, disappoint me again, and the penalty will be doubly paid for. Yes. I guess I better get right this time. Thank you, Athena. Thank. Professor Core was murdered when she stopped by the stage to see Professor Means. If it wasn't premeditated, he must have used something close to hand as little ruse. Apollo, show me those stage setup photos again. Let's see. When he's carrying his little globe thing. But there's already a scaffold. Could any part of that be? Like that, right now? Okay, hold on. Please. Please be in this photo. Just has to be. The arm of the Mr. Right statue is really this right here. I mean, I can only guess it's this. Because it's the only thing that's like fully in frame. Question mark. Got it. I know what to use for the arm of the statue, Mr. Right. This is absurd. There is no such thing in this photo. Don't play dumb with me, Professor. It's a staff you have right there. It's a staff? This is the spear of a great legal warrior? Whatever. Just hurry up and lend it to me. The length is perfect. Mr. Right couldn't possibly object to such an awesome arm. Okay, go for it, Apollo. Sure, I'll give your arm a hand. Cloth and binding coming right up.
Objection!
It's Phoenix Wright. Look, he's that famous lawyer. Well, that's definitely him. I'd know that pose anywhere. We did it. Didn't we? Well, am I not the spitting image of the legendary Phoenix Wright? The man who will bring us out of these dark ages and into an era of brilliant golden light. Golden light. All I see before me is the pink spectre of a man. Why, just because Mr. Right likes his statue, he's positively tickled pink. Get it, Apollo? He's tickled pink. That joke deserves a pink slip. It seems the gallery is quite impressed with the defense's sharp thinking. And the witness? The resemblance is nothing more than a coincidence. Everyone fails except me.
Objection!
Not so fast there, Buster. Unfortunately for you, I can prove my theory to be more than mere coincidence. To prove that his spear was thrust into the victim, all I have to do is see its after spear, test the spear for blood, examine the spear for prints. We could test it for blood. That'd be something, wouldn't it? I mean, that would be something, wouldn't it? Yeah, because really, examine the spear for prints. He's been holding it all. We'd assume the victim's jagged wound came from the arrow being forcibly shoved in. But if the wound was from this spear instead, we should be able to take traces of this. Then we should be able to detect traces of the victim's blood on it. Your Honor, a brief recess, if you will. I need to go wash something. By any means possible. What if I get rid of my spear? Wait, what if I burn it? What's wrong with a non-guilty verdict? If I do that, I'll be found innocent. Yes, I'm innocent, I tell you.
Objection!
Sure you don't expect to take lectures from me now. Now, ask you in the gallery. Help me decide the professor's fate. Bathroom detail. We take the bar exam. 30% salary cut. Dismissal. Aww. Aww. Prosecutor Blackwell, what has become of our witness, Aristotle Means? It is as Stoner suspected. Blood was detected on his staff. He's admitted to his heinous crime. All of it. He shall join us in the clink tomorrow. His teaching skills can be put to good use there. Great. He'll teach felons that the end justifies the means. So much for rehabilitation. Abolish prison. Can I ask what the professor's motive was? I could barely make out a word he said on account of his shattered teeth. Poor man. One of Blackwell's fellow inmates was once a surgeon. Why not a former dentist, too? I eventually had him put pen to paper. Turns out, Professor Means was the one taking bribes. The victim had suspected him after a report from the class snitch. That led to question him at length the day of the killing, right here on that stage. The result, the heinous crime that was brought before this court. The fool, like Newman, had come to know the script's contents via the victim's note. It seems they came up with a plan to stab the victim with their own awl in order to make the killing look like the one in the script and thus frame the defendant. But scrap of paper with Hugh's name had the same mark as Professor Court's plan. Yes, about that. Those planners are bestowed upon all students graduating at the top of their class. Really? So then... Indeed. Once upon a time, Professor Means was also awarded the same notebook. The handwriting is being analyzed now, but like as not, the scrap belonged to him. I mean, you just say it's like the school stationery, that's... This, too, was evidence of the bribery scheme that the victim had obtained. Know that Constant Court was clean, and that only Aristotle Means took the bribes. To think a professor would murder a colleague, then try to pin it on a student. If this is the dark age of the law, then we can only hope that a brighter future awaits. And the first step is to hand down my verdict for a promising young lady. This court finds the defendant, Juniper Woods. Not guilty. I wish you all the best on your road to becoming a courtroom judge. We will need young people like you if we ever hope to restore the law to its former glory. Yes, Your Honor. I'll work as hard as I can. Maybe, one day, I'll be able to work with all of you to make a difference. Proudly serve Professor Court's memory. Do not let her death be in vain. Well, that's the last thing I expect to hear from him today. Court is adjourned. Woo! October 26. District Court. Defendant Lobby. Number 3. Thank you, Thena. I really mean it. It was nothing, really. I can take your biggest tangled mess of a case and unravel it just like that. I don't know. You look pretty wound up there at the end. Literally and figuratively. You look pretty hungry for a knuckle sandwich, Buster. I wanted to thank you too, Paulo. Don't mention it. The way you were always there for Thena when she was in a bind. And at the detention center, your smile gave me hope when there was none. It was like the warm rays of the sun shining down on peaceful woodlands. I think you're an absolutely amazing person. Thanks, Juniper. It means a lot to me. I still have lots of work to do, and I can't wait until we see you on the judge's bench. I'm going to be completely oblivious to the affectionate thing you're doing right now. I promise you I'll get there someday. That's why until that day, I'll... Guys, I've got some big news. I mean, this is huge. Oh, am I interrupting something? No, it's okay, I think. So what's big news? The school festival. It was supposed to have been cancelled after what happened, but... We just got a call. In memory of Professor Constant Court, who worked so hard to make it happen. The festival is being extended one extra day until tomorrow. Really? All right. Oh.
We've got a special treat for all of you. A love letter for Themis Legal Academy. Achtung, baby. It's time for the guitar serenade.
Oh, no. Okay, so the whole thing about Judy showing this interest in Apollo is kind of also her dressing up as his mother on stage there. Anyway, October 27th. Ah! Busy P, thank you for 9 months. Oh, good heck. Is it a month for oh, good heck? Oh, I appreciate you. Oh, wow. Heck. All right, October 27th, Themis Legal Academy, 3rd floor lecture hall. Wow, that was so much fun. School festivals are amazing. I think you and Robin are getting a little carried away. Hydrate? Yeah, I can do that. Your singing voice, Juniper. It can melt my H-E-A-R-T. Mr. Wright, thank you for that training seminar. Just remember, the objection pose is all about attitude. Oh, and congrats on your mock trial win. Although Robin had you for a while there. I did, didn't I? But I'm just glad we're back to how we used to be, thanks to Athena. You know what? I think I'll stick with becoming a prosecutor after all. I'm gonna make it for my mock trial life by winning the real deals in court. Mock trial laws? What laws? Wait, did they reprise a trial and Hugh won? Level-headed lawyer course genius and hot-blooded prosecutor course student will go head-to-head in a mock trial battle for the she-devil's black heart. So, does this mean it's really gonna happen? Juniper. Like, he's a 25-year-old high school student. Robin, well, there's something I've been wanting to say to you. Huh? Ooh, is he gonna do what I think he is? Juniper, can we still be friends? You know, Best friends, like we've always been. Huh? Best friends? Hugh, weren't you going to profess your love for Juniper if you won the mock trial? No, I was going to confess that I'm not a genius, and that I'm really 25 years old. But you already dragged it out of me during the trial. Oops. Listen, Hugh. You too, Robin, Miriam. Me too? Miriam's got this tactical espionage action stuff down to a science. I've been thinking. It's up to us to put an end to the dark age of the law if we can. Let's all work together to usher in a new age where winning only results from the truth. And the end never justifies the means. Count me in. I wouldn't have it any other way. Best friends forever, huh? No matter what anyone says, nothing beats true friendship. You bet. What about your BFF, Apollo? Aren't you a bit old to be using that word? But yeah, he's the best friend a guy could have. Which reminds me, we're supposed to meet up and gossip about the new girl in the office. Hey, no talking about me behind my back. So, what kind of guy is he anyway? Well, if I had to describe in one word... Phoenix. So, after some slight arm twisting, Apollo promised to bring me to his friend. Unfortunately, that promise was never meant to be fulfilled. Oh no. For not long after, their friendship was mercilessly severed by fate. And the bonds between us began to fray and unravel as well. Sorry, but I'll be taking a leave of absence. Even now, those words continue to ring in my ears. The discord in our ever-cheerful Apollo's voice made him sound so cold and distant. Why, Apollo? Why? Why would you leave us all behind? End. Do-do-do. Turnabout Academy awarded. Alright, we saved the progress. Ooh. We'll move on to our next game. Not this one. We were gonna play some Mario. We just happened to be caught up in a bit of a bark. Alright,